Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to Operatic Presbyterian. In today's video, we're going to be ranking Christian composers on a tier list. This is, I guess, a response to Redeemed Zoomer's tier list of the exact same composers. I just rank them differently, and just like him, he has a music degree. I'm studying to actually earn 2 music degrees currently. So I figured I have opinions, so why not share them? So yeah, let's get right into it. Now we're starting off with objectively the greatest composer of all time, and basically no one disagrees with this, Johann Sebastian Bach. Johann Sebastian Bach is just the greatest composer of all time. He's written such amazing sacred music. He's written a lot of good secular music, but of course I'm a bit of a normie, so I love his sacred music. I love his Mass in B minor, his St. John Passion, his St. Matthew Passion. I love his motets like Singet dem Herrn ein neues Lied or Der Geist hilft unsere Schwachheit auf. He's got a lot of amazing motets, chorales. He was a very devout Lutheran. He was very based. Loved Lutheran scholasticism, and you can hear it in his motets. It sounds like OCD music, and Lutheranism, as we all know, is based on OCD, so there you go. Now, next we have Bartók, who was like culturally Catholic, I guess. I don't know too much about Bartók's personal life. I know that he was like an ethnomusicologist or something, and was very interested in like Native American music. At least I think that's what my brother told me years ago. I'm gonna put him in D tier. Actually, yeah, I'll put him in D tier. His music is okay. Let's look up a biography of Bartók here, so that I don't sound like an absolute chud. Yeah, he converted to Unitarianism, so we're gonna put him in D tier for that. Next we got Beethoven. Hot take, okay, hot take. Now, so as a vocalist, as a singer, I don't really like Beethoven that much, but his music is like objectively very good. Beethoven didn't write a lot of great stuff for the voice. He also didn't write very well for the voice when he did. So for that reason, we're going to put him in A tier. He's got very good music, but... And everyone considers him one of the greats, like Bach, Mozart, and Beethoven, but Beethoven, A tier. Next, we've got Brahms. I love Brahms. I've sung some stuff by Brahms. He was, I guess, culturally Lutheran. Not very devout, though. But he's got some great stuff. Like a piece that I recommend by Brahms. He's got this this quartet called Sehnsucht, which means longing. We sang it in the all-state choir in Texas, and it was very fun to sing, and I really enjoyed it. Next, we've got Chopin. He's every pianist's favorite composer ever. We'll put him in A tier. Actually, you know what? We'll put him in B tier because I don't really listen to any of his music ever. But yeah, next we've got Corelli. Corelli was one of those Italian Baroque composers. He was very good. I don't agree with Zoomer that he's top 5 good. So we're going to put Corelli in A tier. We're going to do the same with Dvorak. I really like Dvorak because, you know, Czech is a cool language, and Dvorak wrote a lot of choral music in Czech. I've actually sung choral music in Czech by Dvorak. Well, it was actually an arrangement of a duet from this Moravian Duets work that he published. It was like Slavikovsky's Field is Small or something. And it was very fun, and I enjoyed singing it my junior year of high school. He's got this other piece that I really like called Misto Klekani, which is like a place for kneeling, and it's this beautiful like imagery of like this pasture in a hill in this town. So Dvorak's got some great stuff. Fauré, I've sung stuff by Fauré. It's okay, it's good. Fauré is objectively very good. He's got some amazing music. But obviously, I don't think it's enough to put him into S tier. Next, we got Glinka. I don't know enough music by Glinka to say. We're going to add a new tier. Oh, whoops. Hold on. Sorry, I don't know how to work this stupid website. Alright, we'll put Glinka here because I don't know his music at all. It's very sad. Next we got Claude Goudamel. Claude Goudamel is an easy S tier because, you know, he was extremely influential on all of music because he was the Calvinist composer who basically invented four-part singing as we know it now. Because he arranged the Genevan Psalter, which was originally... The tunes were written by Louis Bourgeois, but Goudamel arranged them for four-part singing for SATB, like chorales. So for that reason, he's extremely important in music history, and he is a Calvinist. So we're gonna put him in S tier. Also going in S tier, and towards the top of S tier is Handel. Handel is another amazing composer of sacred music. Handel is famous for his oratorios. He's most famous for the Messiah, but he's got some other amazing oratorios like Israel in Egypt, Joshua, and my personal favorite, Judas Maccabeus. There's this bit from originally from Joshua called "See the Conquering Hero Comes," which was so famous and everyone loved it so much that he reused it in Judas Maccabeus, which I think is pretty cool. He wasn't afraid to reuse this bit of music that everyone loved that fit perfectly in the context of Judas Maccabeus. Because, you know, there's a conquering hero in Joshua, and there's a conquering hero in Judas Maccabeus. So Handel is probably if we're going to talk about subjectively, Handel's probably my favorite Baroque composer. He's sort of up there with Bach, but objectively speaking, Bach is better. Like, no one disputes that. In addition to his oratorios, he's got some operas that are very good. He's got, like, Alcina, which is it's a very good opera. He's got some others, too. But he's mostly known for his oratorios and for his organ music. Similar thing with Bach, by the way. Bach wrote some very good organ music. Next we got Haydn. Haydn is another S tier. Haydn was famous for being a very nice man, and he like Zoomer said in his video, Haydn basically sort of pioneered the symphony. There's actually a piece of music I know, not by this Haydn, by his brother Johann Michael Haydn. This is Joseph Haydn, but Johann Michael Haydn actually wrote this really cool piece of music that we sang in my high school choir, and it was very fun. Next we got Lully. I don't know anything by Lully, so I can't put him anywhere. Another easy S tier here, we got Mendelssohn. Mendelssohn, I think of all composers, he, like, subjectively speaking, he's easily in my top 3. I sort of oscillate between whether I prefer Mendelssohn, Bach, or Handel. I've sung a lot of music by Mendelssohn, including his Second Symphony. His Second Symphony, by the way, Mendelssohn's Second Symphony, was written to celebrate the 500th anniversary of the invention of the Gutenberg press. And it's, like, explicitly celebrating the invention that sort of kickstarted the Renaissance, and it would eventually lead to the Protestant Reformation as well. And Mendelssohn has just some fantastic music. He's got this beautiful, like, chorale called Verleih uns Frieden, which it means grant us peace. If you're Anglican, if you're in the Church of England, then you'll recognize from your liturgy, grant us peace, O Lord God, in our times, for there's none other who can fight for us but you alone. It's a setting of that in German to this really beautiful music. Mendelssohn's Second Symphony is beautiful. His Fifth Symphony is amazing. His Fifth Symphony is literally called The Reformation, and there's like theme and variations on A Mighty Fortress Is Our God, which is very based. Mendelssohn was also, he was from Prussia, and the Prussian church was actually this Lutheran Reformed Union. So he was sort of a Calvinist composer, except he was definitely on the Lutheran side of that church. And he was born Jewish and converted to Protestantism, which I love that because I did the exact same thing. I was born Jewish and I converted to Protestantism. But I love Mendelssohn, and you should too. The Lutheran music tradition is the best music tradition. As you can see, we got 3 Lutherans in S tier. I'm going to put Mendelssohn up here. Next we got Monteverdi. Monteverdi is A tier, I'd say. He's very important in as a transitional figure between the Renaissance and Baroque periods. Excuse me. He basically invented Baroque music. He was a Catholic priest, and he wrote this opera called L'Orfeo, which is about the Greek myth of Orpheus and Eurydice. It's a pagan myth. That opera sort of invented Baroque music, except now there's a folk opera called Hadestown, which is also musical theater, which is basically the same story, and I think it's better actually. But either way, Monteverdi is very important to the transition between Baroque, or between Renaissance and Baroque. He wrote a lot of these Renaissance madrigals that are very beautiful. I've sung some of them in choirs. And it's very good music. It's just, I personally don't love Italian Baroque music. I'm sorry, but I think that German Baroque is a whole lot better than Italian Baroque, in my opinion. That's just what I think. So yeah, next we've got Mozart. Mozart is S tier. Mozart wrote a lot of operas. He wrote the famous Mozart Requiem, which he died before he completed. The final 8 measures of music that he wrote were his Lacrimosa from Requiem, which is very, very famous, and you've probably heard the freaking Lacrimosa thing in like every reel, and it sounds like just the end of the world. It sounds like death, and it's beautiful. Mozart he wrote some amazing music. I love Mozart. I love his operas. I love a whole lot of stuff that he wrote. That's Mozart. Next we've got James Oswald, who no one's ever heard of, and he has like a few arrangements of Scottish folk tunes. You can go in C tier. He's good, and he's a Presbyterian, which is based, but there's not much going for him otherwise. Next we have Palestrina, who is an easy S tier in my opinion. Palestrina mastered 16th century counterpoint. 16th century counterpoint is one of my favorite things. I love 16th century counterpoint. I don't know which one I prefer, whether I prefer 16th or 18th century counterpoint, because I love Bach and I love Handel, but I also just love this like pure sacred sound of like a Palestrina motet, which it's just beautiful and it's amazing. And I highly recommend going and checking out some stuff by Palestrina. Basically everything he wrote is just beautiful, pure sacred music. It's amazing. Go check it out. Next we've got Purcell. I don't know enough Purcell to really say, so sorry. Next we've got Rachmaninoff. I don't know that much, but from what I know, he's very good. Some people might place him higher. I know someone who named her cat after Rachmaninoff. But I'm going to put him in B tier because I'm not familiar with enough of his music, but what I am familiar with, I've liked. I don't know. Next we've got Salieri, who is basically just famous for being mid. Like, he's famous for just being mediocre. which, oh well. Whatever. Next we've got Schoenberg, who goes to F tier easily because his music is just not... it's trash, okay? No self-respecting person listens to Schoenberg. 20th century atonal crap is crap that no one should subject themselves to. Next we've got... Who's this? This is Schubert. I've sung some stuff by Schubert, like his Deutsche Messe Movement 2 or something, whatever it is, the Zum Gloria. I used it on an Instagram post once, and I sang it in my junior year of high school. And it's good. I don't know enough by Schubert to really say, but oh well. Next we're gonna put Sibelius in A tier. Sibelius was based. He was Lutheran. He was from Finland, and I love Finland because I love all those like Uralic language speaking countries. And Finland is the coolest. Like between Finland, Estonia, and Hungary, which are the 3 countries that speak Uralic languages, I think that Finland is the coolest. I have a friend from high school who was just absolutely obsessed with Estonia. And we sang this like Finnish piece by the composer Veljo Tormis, who's a modern composer and who I'm not going to put on the list, when I was in high school. And it was very fun. But Sibelius, he famously wrote the tune for the hymn Be Still My Soul. You can actually find this in his piece Finlandia, which is like, it's a tone poem, it's called, all about Finland, and it's very beautiful. And I listen to it and I just imagine like these Finnish landscapes or mountains or whatever is in Finland. I don't know. But it's very beautiful, and he's got some fantastic music. Stravinsky, I don't know, bro. Sweelinck goes in A tier for me, just because he wrote a lot of harpsichord music, he wrote a lot of organ music. I love the harpsichord, and I love organ. So he goes in A tier. Tallis goes in S tier along with Palestrina for writing beautiful, pure, just tonal sacred music. He's the opposite of Schoenberg, okay? And Tallis, like, he's famous for writing this, like, just a lot of these beautiful motets, very similar to Palestrina. Another master of 16th century counterpoint, 16th century Renaissance counterpoint. Tchaikovsky was a good composer, but he was gay. Yeah. You go to B tier. Telemann. Telemann, there's so much music by Telemann that I can't really say that I know anything about it. One day I'll sit down and just listen to the entirety of like the Telemann library. He's basically poor man's Bach. You can go to A tier because, you know, he's not as good as Bach, but, you know, he had something to bring to the table. That's what I'll say. And, you know, he wrote a lot of beautiful Baroque music. He was a Baroque composer, and I love German Baroque music, so yeah. Next we've got Torelli. I'm sorry, Zoomer, but Torelli's gonna go to A tier instead of Precious, like top S tier. Because he's Italian Baroque, and, you know, like I said, I don't love Italian Baroque. I like it, it's okay, but it's not as good as the German Baroque. It's not as good as Bach, it's not as good as Handel. Oh well. Next we got Vaughan Williams. Ralph Vaughan Williams is technically how you're supposed to pronounce it, but everyone always pronounces it Ralph. I don't really care. I pronounce it Rafe because that's what I was taught, and I'm hyper aware of pronunciation, so you're stuck with that. Vaughan Williams, I'm gonna put him in A tier. I think Vaughan Williams is famous for, in the circles I run in, he's famous for his songs of travel, which is a collection of poems by Robert Louis Stevenson that he set to music. And it's very beautiful, way oversung. The amount of times I've heard The Vagabond sung by like incoming college freshmen including myself, by the way, when I auditioned for my university, I sang Vaughan Williams' Vagabond. And so did every other baritone ever. It's good though. And the other songs from that cycle, like Whither Must I Wander, or Let Beauty Awake, or Youth and Love, or In Dreams, they're all fantastic pieces. And as a full cycle, it's beautiful. And he's got a lot of other very good music. Like there's this piece I like by him called Rest, which I think is absolutely beautiful. It's based on I forget who the poet was. I don't think it was Christina Rossetti. Maybe it might have been. Like, when I die, I want Rest to be sung at my funeral. Even though it kind of sounds like it's soul sleep, it's still very beautiful. And I love it. And Vaughan Williams wrote some great music for the Church of England. He was obsessed with, like, the Anglican style of music and, like, the culture of the Church of England. And last but not least, we've got Vivaldi. Also another one of those Italian Baroque dudes. So I'm going to put him in A tier. I like Vivaldi's music. His music, at least what I'm familiar with, it sounds the least Baroque and the most classical of, like, Italian Baroque. But, yeah, those are my ratings. Those are my opinions. I think that Bach, Handel, and Mendelssohn are the three greatest composers of all time. You can disagree with me. Go ahead. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. If you disagree, then, well, you can have your opinions. You can be wrong. It's okay. So yeah, if you liked what you saw here, though, hit the like button. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel so you can see more videos like this talking about church music or Christianity in general or mainline Protestantism or whatever. And be sure to share this video. And I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.